Something that is rarely talked about on backpacking and outdoor channels is when you come back from a trip, what do you do with your gear? And it's kind of a tough time to think about your gear when you come back, because you might be tired, you might not have had a good sleep while you're camping, and you just want to crash. And then you throw your backpack in the corner and you forget about it. Well, when you come back out a few months later and decide you're going to finally clean your backpack out, you realize some damage has been done, especially after a rain trip. So I just came back from a rain trip, and this is kind of what I do after a rain trip, especially when you know things have been damp, and even if they've had a chance to dry out, I take some time to go through and get everything out of the backpack, hang your tent or your tarp or your hammock up, hang your sleeping bags up in a dry place where they can dry. So in this case, I've started to strip things out of the backpack. I'm working through the inside now. Here's my hammock. So I'm going to take my hammock and I'm going to hang that in a dry place. Even though the hammock was always under a tarp, you know, the dampness from your body, moisture, and other collection of things that were wet can end up leading to mildew and mold. And you want to make sure you unroll everything. Even like the little corners sometimes will get wet. You definitely want to get all your sleeping pads out, unroll them, because they can get damp. And also, on your sleeping pads, the valves should be opened and make sure you hang those out to dry in a really dry place, so that all of your moisture, any moisture from your mouth that went into blowing up the air mattress, can then dry out. Now for a critical one, your insulation. Insulation is really important. When you come home, you need to shake out the insulation, put it in a dry spot. All of your sleeping bags, any down, any even synthetics need to be taken out, unfolded, put in a dry place for a couple of days. Right now I'm just staging all of it, getting it all out of the pack. But the insulation should never have a chance to be stuck in a stuff sack or in a backpack and left there for a long time. Insulation specifically should be taken out and stored in the open in a very loose bag where the insulation has a chance to loft up and dry out. It's very, very critical that it dries out. All of those steps will ensure next time around, when you go to backpack and you pack your things up, your gear will be in good shape. It will be dry, the loft will be in good shape for all of the insulation, and it'll work as it is intended. Here's my tarp hanging out. I mostly dried the tarp this morning while it was still hanging on the trip, but when I came back and took it out, some of the corner material still had dampness in it. So here it is out in the dry. The breeze is blowing through it. I'm gonna get it completely dry before I pack it back up. For any of your water bottles or any of your purifying filters, you definitely want to take these out, and you want to unscrew the lids. You obviously can clean take these in and, with soap and water, warm water, clean all of the lids and surfaces. I mean, you've been in contact with the outdoors, you've been in contact with questionable water. So all of these should be cleaned and set out to dry. Your filters should be your filters should be taken out and clean what you can. You obviously don't clean the filter, but you can clean this container. You can dump out any old lake water, yucky lake water. You can clean all of the filter items out and leave these out to dry. Any cooking equipment that you have taken, any cooking gear, you want to get all of those items out. Trash, of course, throw away. Food items that maybe will spoil. You want to take those food items out and put those where they need to go. I always clean my spoon. I clean my cook kits, pots, cups, and I'll leave those out to dry as well. All of these steps are going to ensure your gear will last for a long time. One other thing I do too is I will clean any gear. You can see some, dirt spots on the backpack here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a squished worm. So I'll take just some soap and water, cloth, and kind of clean these off, dry them off nicely, and take really good care of all of your gear. So it lasts a lifetime of excellent exploration and fun with some really good gear.